We can lose touch, but we can let go. Doing what God made from Lego. All the vows vowed to hold your name. Keep your thinking of me.
We're so excited about the overwhelming response today, and we are really excited to have you here to launch Richard's Reading Room, a new space dedicated to reading and literacy promotion here at the Armory Youth Center. My name is Faivon Johnston, and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator at Youth Empowerment and Support Services. The idea for this project first came to my attention through a touching email I received back in September from Cheryl Latta. The email expressed that the Latta family had suffered a tragic loss of their 22-year-old son, Richard, in January, and that they wanted to donate his books to Yes and create a special reading area in his honor. The project spoke to me as a fellow avid reader, and also knowing that we didn't already have a space of this description, it seemed like the perfect fit for this center, a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daytime program designed to provide youth facing difficult realities in Edmonton a safe alternative to the street. Through a series of phone calls and meetings, the project expanded to include other Edmonton agencies, local politicians, and community groups who all leapt with open hearts behind the idea of creating a space for learning and reflection for our youth. Through generous community donations and drives, we received in the ballpark of 9,000 books. The kids at Yes don't always have the luxury of a place to sit and just read, to be warm and safe, and explore the world through the pages of a book. In reality, a child might be confronting difficulties unimaginable to us. But with a book, they can be transported to new, exciting worlds with unlimited possibility. I would now like to call upon Cheryl and Brian Latta, the creators of this project. Their tireless hours have really helped to create this reading room, and they are going to come up and say a couple words about this project. So please welcome them.
Okay, wow, this is absolutely amazing. On behalf of our family, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. We're here today to really draw attention to the value of reading and literacy and personal growth and success and achievement, and we hope that the reading room and the books within it will help open the minds and doors for all the youth that use it. We're also here to raise awareness for a disease that few understand and talk about. Testicular cancer typically strikes young men between the ages of 15 and 35, and when detected early, it's 90% curable. These are men in the prime of their lives, and what they believe to be an invincible time. Richard was a shy and a quiet young man, so below-the-belt cancers were not the topic of everyday conversation. As the men in the community grow their mustaches this month of November, let's not forget about the lesser-known cancers that can be equally devastating to young families and young men. Last but not least, all this could not have happened without the personal drive and commitment from my wife, Cheryl, and the support from our children, Chris, Rob, David, Katie, and Richard. You have taught us each your own special way of what parenting is all about, and the rewards that come from a parent's love and support and perseverance. This is also what Yes is about, giving young men and women the support and understanding they need during what is often a very confusing and troubled time in their lives.
Wow, emotional day, amazing few weeks. When you lose a child, there's a hole that forms forever in your heart. And the only way that I know how to carry on is to fill that hole with love and to share that love with others. Richard's Reading Room started with a seed of an idea to do something meaningful with Richard's books and to promote literacy, for which I'm very strongly attached to, and to increase public awareness awareness of testicular cancer among young men. And because of all of you, that seed has grown to something amazing, something beautiful, something beyond my imagination. Richard's Reading Room and the Endowment Fund, which will generate a scholarship in his name, will benefit the youth here at Yes for years to come, and it honors Richard's life. Let us all strive to live as Richard lived, to be content with what we have, to speak with kindness, and to have love in our hearts. Richard, your chapter may be complete, but your story continues. Thank you all so much.
The next speaker is someone we are very honored to welcome today. He is a popular author, Order of Canada recipient, and literary advocate, and was one of the first people to jump behind this project during the baby stages of its creation. We are so excited he's taken time out of his busy touring schedule to be here today. Please welcome the wonderful and inspiring David Boucher.
I'm sorry I'm a little late, Edmonton. I love you so, but man, some of your drivers are so aggressive. I could describe her to the police. She had a cigarette butt and her finger was out the window and, oh man. So between that and my GPS and I was speaking to, and that's my dad. 95 years old, and when I left Victoria 2 days ago, I said, "Papa, I'll see you when I get home." He said, "Not if I'm lucky. I don't want to be here." He wants to go see Mom, and that's part of my message, and it's part of my feeling for Brian and for Cheryl, and it's just something I'll never understand. I've never had a chance to experience death until Mom died in December the 10th, and I know there are some among you who've never really experienced it firsthand. And for me, it's looking up to my elder, my mom, to have to look down to my boy. I don't know how I'd handle that. I see how Brian and Cheryl have handled it, and that's probably what I would do, because we each have to grieve in our own way. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of my grieving and my feelings, and it's what we do as Aboriginal people. Mom died of cancer. But it was not the cancer that was the difficult part. She had advanced osteoporosis. And that means that when she moved, her bones broke. So for the last 3 months of her life, Mom lay in bed, unable to move. And when I looked at Mom lying there, I brought this flute in, and it wasn't for Mom. I said, "How are you?" And she said, "I'm fine, I can't complain." And I said, "Well, you can complain, Mom, you can't move." And she said, "You worry about you." And I brought this flute in, and I did for Mom. And I played not for Mom, I played for me. It was my way of healing. She wanted me to heal. She didn't want me to hurt. She was hurting. So she would say, "Play it again, darling, I think you need it." And I did. And among Aboriginal people, we don't sell healing songs. If there's anyone who needs it, please email me and I'll send it to you. It's for you. It's not for someone else. It's our healing song. And I'd like to play it because it makes sense to play it today. I think that Richard's Reading Room is all about Mom and Dad. I think it's about Brian and Cheryl and how they can live on with him included in their lives in a much more direct way. Every time it comes up, every time they drive by, every time a book comes in, it'll be their boy. And it's that way of healing. It really isn't about Richard. It's what he would want for his Mom and Dad. I know. for Brian and Cheryl, and I expect for a lot of you. I'd like to just to share in a personal way that for Aboriginal people, we believe in celebrations, and we believe in celebrations of life. We also recognize the fact that we inherit more than the color of our eyes and our hair and our skin from our grandmothers. We inherit memories. I believe that my grandmothers live in me, and I believe that my mother will always live in me. And I also believe, in Richard's case, he will always be alive. He will always live through his mom and dad and his family. He'll always live through this room. And for me, there's room for celebrating. And I see this crowd of people and the dignitaries, and I see the way you're all here in support of the family. And I see this as a celebration, a success. And I can only imagine him sitting there smiling, saying, this is good. More than anything else, it's good for my mom. From Richard to all of you, thank you very much. This is a worthwhile event. Thank you.
Sad the truth, but will the peace goes. We have all the 1,080 birds. All the vows vow to God your name. Keep your stay. Be happy.
Literally finished this in a day.
Yeah, we read it in a day.
Like he just went down and curled up.
Close eyes, open, close again, feel as my body's spin.